Welcome to week 6 of 225. Welcome to the Bat Cave. I'm here. I'm still Brother Stevic. It's still the semester's going by really quick. We're in week 6 now. It's going by pretty quickly. So this video today, we're going to talk quickly about, well, not quickly. We're going to do a kind of a deep dive into the assignment for this week. I'll kind of tell you what to expect, kind of which direction to go in. There's 2 bits of code I'm going to show you to so you can get on the right track, and to keep in mind that everything in this week is stuff we've done already. There's nothing new, nothing game changing in here. We've covered all the stuff that's in here. So we're just dusting off the same things we've been doing and refining those skills. So far, everything was looking great. Everyone is really working hard and getting the stuff, get your assignments in and get your assignments in right. Everyone's turning everything's in properly. So I'm very happy and very proud of you guys for that so far. Please remember, if you have any issues where you can't get assignments in on time, please remember just to contact me. Let me know what's going on, and I am very accepting of late work. I know the world works in a way. I mean, really, we're in a pandemic right now. We're lucky we can get things done when we want them done, and I'm understanding to that. So just let me know what's going on. And we'll find a way. My goal here is to get you guys through this class, make sure you understand this subject that I care so much about, and make sure that you get a grade that's a passing grade, and you're out the door and moving on. I don't want you getting stuck here. So with that, let me go ahead and share out the screen for this week's lesson. Okay, there we are. And I want this here. Okay, share that out. All right, so let me jump up to the top here. Excuse me. Okay, step 1. Add rental item price and rental item type columns to the rental item table. Both columns should use a numbered data type. While you will place a not null constraint on the 2 columns, you can't do that immediately because they're already rows in the table. So what this is saying, this isn't ordered exactly the way it should be. So let me explain what this means. If you try to put any constraint on a column that already has data in it, that data must match that constraint, or you can't put the constraint on it. It makes perfect sense. If you are trying to put a not null constraint on a column and there are nulls in that constraint the constraint because you're already breaking it. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? So the same thing, you know, the unique constraint, the primary key constraint, the not null constraint, and we're going to talk about the check constraint in a few minutes here. The conditions of those constraints must be met before you can put the constraint on the column. Has nothing to do with data in the table, has everything to do with what's on the column, okay? So you're just going to write an alter column statement, alter table statement. You're going to add the columns, and then that's that. Next step, create the price table as per the specification qualified below. The specification requires that you add a Y or N against the active flag column. You should use the YN price for the name of the check constraint. So here we are, we're talking about check constraints now. So we've talked about primary key constraints, which is a unique column that is the natural index for the table and is usually some kind of ID column that can be indexed and tracked. We've talked about the not null constraint, which is there can't be any nulls in there. And we talked about the unique constraint, and the unique constraint states that anything that's in that column must be unique. There can be no duplicate values at all. The check constraint is basically telling the people that whatever goes in this column has to be what I say it is. For example, let's say you were doing a rental, in this movie rental place, we wanted to make sure that only people above the age of 18 above could rent R-rated movies if they want to rate an R-rated movie. So we'd put a check constraint on the column on the rental table saying it'll grab the person's age and make sure that it's under, it's over 18 or over. So we've got a price ID, primary key, item ID, price type, so on and so. It gives you all the information you need to do here. You just need to translate into a create statement. So right here, the active flag though, we want to put a constraint on there, and we want to make sure it's checked. So let me show you how that gets done here. So let me change my share to here. Okay. Okay, so let me grab this here. Let me make sure my make sure the table is dropped first so we don't have any issues. Okay, it wasn't there. Good. So let's grab this here. So let's take a look at this code here first. I'm only aware with this line, so we're going to do a column called on-off varchar 2, two characters, constraint on-off constraint, not null, and check. And in the parentheses is the name of the column and what I want to be in that column. So here it's check, open parentheses, on-off, in, YRN. You can put anything you want there. You can be like, check is greater than 21 or however you want to do it. So, but in this case, we're going to do check on off in YN. So let me go ahead and create this table over here, and we'll take a look at what it does. Okay. Tables created. So here I've got my insert statement, insert values 1, 1, and then I'm going to put the letter R here. A happy little R. Copy this, put it over here. Okay. Toss me semicolon at the end, and it errors out because it says check constraint is violated. So I need to fix that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this to a Y. And I'm going to copy this, place it here. And so now what's this? So let me change that to a Y. Okay, so now it's a Y. It's still violated. So why did it violate in this case? Well, it violated because I used a lowercase y and my check constraint had an uppercase Y. Oracle does that, something we've got to get used to. It's got to be uppercase, or we've got to use the lower or upper commands. So that's the case. So let me put this back in here one more time and do it right this time, right? Okay. Change that to an uppercase Y. Put my parentheses there. Hit enter. One row created. So put the 1 row into table 1. So that's the check constraint. That's how that works. So let me go back to my old share here. Okay, so that's that. Next step. Okay, step 3. This is worth 48 points. This is a pretty big step. Part 1 is rename the item release date column of the item table to release date. That's pretty simple. Insert three new DVD releases. That's pretty simple. Insert a new member account in 3 contacts. That's pretty simple. Insert 2 rows in the rental table with a dependent row for each rental item, 1 row into the rental table and 2 dependent rows in the rental item table. Okay, so that means what we need to do here. Let's go down here. So when you look at the instructions and explain that it exploded out, it's going to give you the check constraints, the check code to make sure it went right. But what we need to do here, we need to add the rentals. And here's where we want, this is what we want entered. Okay. So they'll give you the data they want entered. Here's the items table, and scroll down. Here are the 3 that we want entered into there. Okay. Okay. So we want to enter 3 items in the rental table. The items table, we want to enter Tron, Ender's Game, and Elysium. We want to enter new rows in the member table. We want to enter a new member for row for Potter family, a new contact row for Harry Potter, a new address for Harry Potter, new street address row for, we want to add all these things. So here's everything we need to add. So it's not just the one insert statement, it's a couple different insert statements. Okay. Create 3 rows in the rental table and 4 new rows in the rental items table. Because when we add a new row in the rental table, we need to know, so the rental table tells us who rented something. It also tells us what they rented, but it links over to the rental item table where the name of the item is, because there's only an ID in the rental table. So if you're going to create a new rental table, you also have to create a new row in the rental item table because of the foreign key that's there. So here's what we're doing. This is what the results should be. So you have to reverse engineer that. So you know that Harry Potter rented has rental ID 106 with a 1-day rental, rented 2 items, so on and so forth. So this case, you have to insert 4 rows into the rental table, and it's 3 new rows in the rental table and 4 new in the rental item table, and your results have to be what we're seeing here. So you have to reverse engineer that and figure out how that's going to work. Okay, again, we did that last time. That covers that. So this is a bunch of inserts. Step 3 is just a bunch of inserts. Step 4, modify the design of common lookup table and make necessary data changes to support the new design. You should make the following 4 changes. Drop the column lookup in N1 and U2 indexes. Add 3 new columns to column lookup table, column lookup column, and column lookup code. Then migrate the column lookup context to column values. So you're going to use a update statement to copy common look context values that match table names in common look table. So you're going to write an update statement that is taking values from one column, putting into another column, and basing it on. It's kind of a join, but it's not written exactly like a join. And that's what all these updates are going to do. So I'm going to go finish going through this, and I'm going to circle back around and show you the code for that they're talking about doing this part here. Use an insert statement to add 2 rows to the telephone table, values to the common lookup table, and use an alter data table or create index statement against the common lookup table to accomplish the following. Remove the common lookup context, add a not null constraint, and create an index that adds a unique index on common lookup table that uses common lookup table, common lookup column, and common lookup types. So I don't think that we've actually really gotten into index. I've got a video that I'm going to link to this week that talks about indexes and fragmentation, how that works. But basically, the index is just there to help the query, the engine find things quickly. So in this case, indexes should be built on columns that have a relationship to each other that will always be selected together. So the simple rule of thumb is if there is a column in your select statement, there should be an index on that column because it's got to be sorted and selected by that. So in this case, we're putting an index on a unique index on common lookup table, on the common lookup table that uses the columns common lookup table, common lookup column, and common lookup type columns. So there's going to be 3 columns in your index. And what the unique index means is in every row, those 3 must be unique. There can never be a combination of the same 3 things in those columns. And then use an update statement to change telephone type columns such that they hold a copy of 1 or 2 other rows you added to the common lookup. Okay, and that's the end of the assignment. So again, nothing we haven't done before. Everything we've done, you're just kind of keeping using the same skills, getting the stuff done, and working on it. So let me just show you the code, that update code, or an example of that update code, so you know what's going on. And then I think I've covered every question that was sent to me. And then I will sign off for tonight. Again, I apologize for this coming in late, but the Memorial Day weekend kind of threw me off, so I'm a day off on everything. So normally this has been uploaded on Wednesday, so it's going to go up late Thursday night. So again, like I say every week, I am here to help you. A number of you have contacted me every week to get some help. I am here to help. The TA is here to help. Make sure you're reaching out to us to answer your questions. And if you need anything, let me know, and we will make it happen for you. So let me just show you this code that I'm talking about. Here we are. Okay. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to clear my screen. I'm going to create a table. I'm going to call it table_1. I'm not sure that table_1 doesn't exist, so we'll see. Paste it here. Enter. Okay, it already exists. So let me drop these tables here. Okay. Okay, my tables are dropped. So let me go ahead and I never remember if I can do this all in one shot here. So let me do this. Paste. Okay. Okay. So I've created a table called table 1. In there, I've inserted an ID and a color. I'm going to create another table called table 2. And in there, I'm going to insert a ID and a name. Okay. So everything there is taken care of. So let me do a quick select star from table 1. We're good. Select star from table 2. We're good. Okay. I'm not formatting it. I'm doing this on the fly just so you can see. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a column to table 1. And I'm gonna call it name. Now what I want to do is I want to write an update statement that is going to take all the values from table 1, table 2 in the whom column there, and put it into the name column into table 1 based on the ID. So this is what the update statement looks like. I'm going to update table 1. I'm going to set table1.name equal to select table2.whom from table 2, where table1.id equals table2.id. And that's that. So when I do this and I run this query, I get 5 rows updated. So I'm going to select star from table 2 where ID equals 1. And I get ID 1 and then the name Bob. So if I do the same thing here, but for table 1, I'm going to get blue and then Bob. So I took that, we just added that column, so we just automatically ported all those rows over with this select statement. So in your assignment, you have to write an assignment that an update statement that does this for the update table. So you can take this and then reverse engineer it to get the code that you need for the table. All right, I believe that covers everything for this week. Again, keep up the good work. You guys are doing great. Get those quizzes done. That's 6 free points a week. You can't go wrong with that. I'm leaving them open for longer. It says they're in by Friday, Saturday, but I'm keeping them open longer than that. If you try to get into it and it's closed, remind me. I may have forgotten to open it for a longer period of time, but I want you guys to have every opportunity to do as well as you can. So, get in touch with me. Have a great week. Have a great rest of your week because tomorrow's Friday, or today is Friday. It's 2 o'clock. Oh, it's Friday in Idaho as well. This is going up today. Next week, lesson 7. It's going to be fun. So take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to you soon.